afternoon from Fredericksburg Farms. We thought we'd do a little video to show you how to assemble our Freshie stands. If you've bought one of these, by now you're trying to go, oh my gosh, it's a square box. How do I turn that box into money? Well, the first thing you have to do is put it together. You'll have an envelope that'll look something like this, and in that envelope are several things actually. Are the restock cards that we're going to hang on the pegs, and all of these restock cards will then show you where the product will go on the Freshie stand. So we'll get to that in a minute. We also have a planogram there that will show you exactly where the different pieces will go. Okay, inside the box, you're going to find the different legs. These are the pegs that the Freshies will hang on, and then here are the different rings that they'll be suspended by. Take those out. Here's the header. In addition to that, we've modified the box a little bit, and we've included 5 hose clamps. These are going to support the rings so that they'll stay up tight for you. There's a spacing bar, and there at the base, and then here are the instructions from the manufacturer. So with this fine video that we're making, you can take that and throw it away, or you could read the instructions if you want to. Right now we're going to go with try what we suggest. Alrighty. So I always have to kind of try this out and see which way it works. That looks like that'll work pretty good, huh? And then this works right there like that. And this is going to come on here like that. That goes all the way down. So this is what your Freshie stand is going to look like. Now, the challenge you have is, we'll put this down a little bit lower, that these little guys, as they come from the manufacturer, move that a little bit, as they come from the manufacturer, they won't fit over the top without loosening it. See how it's a little bit tight there? So you're going to want to loosen this with a flat blade screwdriver, being very careful not to hurt yourself. Alrighty, not quite enough. There we go, that should be enough. And these will slide down. Loosen it a little bit more, just so it goes down easily. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to open up the pins over here. Should take you about 45 minutes to put this together. Less if you have 2 people. More depending on the kind of people that you have. All right, and then we're going to open this bag up. Get one of these out. That also, see how that's still a little tight? So it's just finger tight. So I'm going to back that off so it goes all the way down. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to lift up our spacer and let it touch that hose clamp. So that's the distance that we want to have. And then we're going to tighten the little hose clamp, and you can tighten it pretty good. It will take some tightening on there. Okay, that took about all of that out. Now, this is the way they came, and what we found is this is good, except the more people work on it, sometimes they will crack over time. And so I'm tightening that, and I'm just going finger tight. If you want to put just a little bit of pressure on it, you can. You don't need much. So that's in place now. And then you take your stick out. So that's, see how that's really good and firm. Then what we'll do is, with the lip facing upward, because this is where the pins are going to go, we're going to put that on there. And there's the first one of those. Then we're going to repeat the process. We're loosening the hose clamp up again. We're going on here. We're going down. We're going to take one of these. Remember that was a little tight, so we're finger loosening that again. We're going down with that. We're getting our expensive piece of equipment, otherwise known as a piece of wood. Okay, and I'm on a different side this time, which is okay. If you planned ahead, that probably wouldn't happen. Okay, there's that. So now I'm going to tighten that again. This allows the proper spacing between these for the Freshies to hang down. I'm going to put this on here. That's finger tight plus just a little. If you go too tight, you'll break them. So that's on there, real good for that. Now, anybody know what the next step is? What about one of these guys again? This side up, remember? We drop that on there. Rack number 2. Now let's go one more time. If you find that you're off or you've made a mistake, you can always loosen the little hose clamp and loosen the plastic guy and move it up or down as you're doing that. And then the last thing we do, this goes up on top. If you did it right, that should just fit right on there. I'm not going to put the header on yet, but this is where the header will go to let you see what it looks like. Now we have, these are the pins that they go in, and you'll see they go on the back hole right here, and sometimes, actually they go in the middle hole, I'm sorry, because it won't fit in the other one. And then that just goes right like that. And then we're going to skip one and go to here. I'm looking for one. Sometimes they're kind of hard to get in, and I'll show you a trick for that. So just take your time and put them in there. There we go. Okay, that one didn't quite go in, so if you go to the side and then come back around, they'll go in. And here's the last one. There we go. Okay, so this particular rack is full all the way, and we're going to do that with all of them. Now I've completed this, and it just takes a few minutes to put it together. We're going to take a look. This is our modified seasonal rack, and what that means is your top row is what you'll change out on each of the 3 different seasons of the year. So we're in the holiday season. The first one's the pine tree. That's this one right here, Merry Christmas, y'all. So we're going to put that up here on the top rack like that. Won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Whoops, there we go. And then we're going to have the snowflake, which is Dreaming of a White Christmas. Then we're going to have the pine tree again, because that's such a good seller. Then we're going to have the owl. This is one of my favorites. Happy fall, y'all. And then we're gonna have the mitten, which is Santa Claus's mitten. Okay, now this is really a good example. I've set it just a little bit too high on this last one, so you can see it doesn't really spin. You can see that it's hitting on here. So that's really a good thing. Rather than lifting this up, what we'll do is we're gonna lower this down just a little bit. I'm gonna loosen the plastic guy. And then I'm gonna loosen the hose clamp. And we're gonna come down just a little so that that comes underneath. That comes underneath our little header. So it turns around. This is the only place really you should have any adjustment as you do it. I went just a little bit too high, and I'll show you in just a second here something else you may want to consider. So, as you can see on these top ones, they have something added on that says Holiday Scents of the Season. So that sits a little higher than the ones that will go underneath it, which are like this. So the rest of it we're gonna wring out all the way down. Then we'll go into the boxes and we'll put 4 of each of the Freshies on those stands. But you can see how this will go around like that so people can access the different seasonal scents. There'll be 4 on each of these, so when you're ordering or when you run out, you'll know exactly what you're out of, because you'll have a UPC on here, as well as the item number right next to it, and then a picture of what is on the Freshie label. So you'll see it and you'll know exactly what you have or what you're out of. Texas handmade air fresheners from Fredericksburg Farms. There's your rack. It's easy to set up. Be sure and keep it out of the sunlight. Direct sun is not your friend. It'll cause them to denature. But I think you'll be really happy when you replenish them. Always remember first in, first out. So if you've got 2 left on the stand, take those off, put new ones behind it, so you always have your oldest ones out in front, because that way you're keeping them fresh. Even though they've got a good shelf life, you want to be sure that you rotate your stock as you go through. Should be a great little money tree for you. I think you'll do well with it. Thanks again for considering Fredericksburg Farms, and we hope you've enjoyed this little video about how to set up your Freshie stand.